Welcome to another episode of the Strange Motion Way podcast. I'm your host, Tim Strange, along with my first wife.
Carrie Strange.
That's a compliment.
I know. I'm always wondering what you're going to say. It's like, what is
like you and your Golly G Tim videos.
Yeah.
So here we are. We got another great guest here this week. We got Jason Chandler from Auto Metal Direct. I made sure I just say AMD all the time because that's your logo, but Auto Metal Direct. You guys do all kinds of stuff, more than just sheet metal, if you look at their website. But we're going to get to that, but we're going to get some story on how Jason ended up at his current career.
Yep.
So Carrie always likes to get some high school stuff growing up.
We want to go back to little Jason. So tell us about little Jason. Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school?
Yeah, so I grew up, I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. I moved from there. I was living in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, went to Sunday school there and pre-K. Then we up and moved to Chicago.
Ooh.
My dad, yeah.
Sorry.
You remember Illinois, right?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. We moved up that way. I lived up there probably 8 or 10 years.
What part of Chicago were you in?
I was in the northern suburbs. So we lived in Gurney, we lived in Waukegan, Vernon Hills.
There's a BMX track in Waukegan we used to go to all the time when we lived in Illinois.
Yep.
Yeah, we used to race cruisers there in we would go to Waukegan, Elgin.
See, I just learned. I didn't know he was a former BMXer.
No,
I did not know this. I did not know you were a former BMXer.
Yeah, we dabbled a little bit. The kids in the neighborhood, if we weren't ice skating in the winter, playing hockey, we would be on our BMX, and that's kind of where I started my customization love, because we were putting stuff in the spokes, and then we get the gyros and the pegs, and we were acting stupid and having a good time.
Yep.
So, most important question of the whole night now: what kind of bikes did you ride?
It was mainly GT. I started off. I had some hand-me-down GT from somewhere, and then I saved up my money, and it was either between the GT Performer or the Tony Hawk skateboard. I went BMX. So that was my bike for years. And
Do you still have a Performer at home?
No, that's long gone, unfortunately. I miss it. I enjoyed it. We would go out to the races, and we kind of got into that crowd, and we were subscribing to BMX magazine, and
what years did you ride at Waukegan?
Let's see, it was for 2 years, so I guess that would have been early 90s, like 92, 94, somewhere in there.
Okay, we didn't really race Waukegan until we come back in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
because we'd read the state series and stuff. So I was thinking, maybe we crossed paths at the BMX track, or maybe he crashed me in practice.
He was the one that crashed you in turn 1 when you stripped your pants down, and we're all like, "What are you doing?"
No, that was Kurt Zizzo. That was Kurt Zizzo. I was in my underwear in turn 1 at Waukegan at a state race. I crashed and hurt my knee, and I just
wasn't thinking.
I pulled my pants down. I didn't have shorts on, but I had underwear on. And it was like, "What are you doing out there?" So yeah, I had a couple gnarly crashes in turn 1 at Waukegan.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, I miss those days. That was a lot of fun. My friends, they had the cruisers, which, if anybody's listening, if I remember right, it was like a BMX bike, but with giant wheels, like
24-inch.
20. Yeah, right. And
they're still really popular. So if you want to get back on a cruiser and go to Peachtree City or any of those, we'd love to come ride.
Yeah, they have a good national down there. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I actually I lived out that way for many years.
And the lady that runs the track, her husband's a hot rodder, got a badass 32 sedan, chopped and channeled and sectioned. So the hot rod and the BMX connection's always
very close.
Very close. And a lot of So how old are you now?
Let's see, 80, so 45. Yeah, I'll turn 46 this year. Yeah. I got to carry the 1 too. Yeah, all right, we're good.
The BMXer, if you're still a current BMXer like we are, Carrie will be like, Carrie, how old are you?
A 50 to 51 lady cruiser.
50 to 55. 49 49.50.
Yeah.
No.
I haven't raced for a while.
Yeah, race since your birthday. Well, grand. But yeah, usually BMXers, you're like a
age group.
5-year age group, and I'm like, I'm 51, 55 because I'm like 55 this year, and I was like, non-BMXers look at you like you just know the range of your birthday. And it's like, yeah.
It doesn't matter until you age up. So nothing matters.
Right.
Yeah. So. Anyway, we interrupted you. So so Waukegan area, that's where you grew up.
Yeah. So my dad's work took us up there, and we left back to Gatlinburg. So I went to a couple of years to Gatlinburg Pittman High School. Didn't really do a whole lot of bike riding there, but um, it was fun because we got to ride go-karts and get dropped off on one end of Pigeon Forge, and everybody's been to Pigeon Forge, at least in this community, right?
It was still a tourist area back then, but it was probably slightly, I'm going to say, better, because now I don't even want to go to Pigeon Forge anymore or Gatlinburg. We went there on vacation just a couple days for around Christmas a couple years ago, and it's like, okay, been there, done that. The only other times I've ever been there were for car events, and I just don't like all the tourist stuff. Too many people just
It's because I have to go in every shop, and shop is the same.
It's okay if you're going to buy something, but if you go in 75 t-shirt shops and go back to the third one to get the t-shirt that we've seen 17 times, that's when I don't enjoy.
Something different in that one shop I don't go in.
Oh my God. Right. No, so we're on the same page. We're on the same page. I walk
every road to swap meet, so
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same thing, right?
Were you a car guy back then when you were younger?
I wasn't. I didn't really get into that until I had moved to Georgia. So when we were, I guess I was 14, my parents passed. My dad had a car wreck. My mom died of natural causes. It's kind of a heartbreak thing.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's when we moved to Georgia, and I've been here ever since. That's kind of where I started getting into cars. Kind of clinging on to something different, new atmosphere. And I met these guys that were into dirt track racing. They were into mini trucks, and I loved it. And I was kind of just hooked ever since.
How old were you when you moved to Georgia?
I guess I was 15, so I was just starting to learn to drive. And it was a weird transition, but it was good because I had family, had my brother, and really since when we moved down here, we really hit like, all right, I'm really into this. I'm not really focused on whatever tragedy we're going through, and I just took off.
Yeah. So, what was your first job you ever had?
Ooh, first job. So I've always had like I guess I got it from my dad, is like I need to work. And I guess I was junior, so I was doing work release. My first job was at McDonald's, and I was working through high school, but I was like 40, 45 hours a week. So I was like, all right, this may not be great, but I love it. So I'm going to keep working this thing. Yeah. The money's good. It's starting to pay for my truck. This is nice. Yep. And I moved from there to another restaurant, and then I moved to Pet Boys.
So I started doing Taco Bell in high school.
Oh yeah.
She worked there when it was like the Bullwinkle and Rocky. She worked her way up to be assistant manager. Yeah. The Rocky and Bullwinkle movie was on, so she had to run the cash register and wear the Bullwinkle hat once. And my best friend came in that night. I didn't see her in it, and he still don't let her live it down. And she's like, I'm going to quit if I have to wear that Bullwinkle hat again.
Giant moose ears and everything, right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, it was kind of the same thing for me. Like I got, I started feeling like I was doing a good job, and then they're like, "Hey, how about an assistant manager?" And then, they kind of the same thing where they started moving me around to different stores, and I kind of got into that. It's like I'm doing a good job. They're acknowledging that, and I'm getting paid goods, and I can put that into my truck, and it was good.
What kind of truck did you have?
So I had a Nissan hardbody. I guess about that time I would have had my first, like 93, 94. And I got into a wreck with that, and then got another one. The fourth version I got was the one I started modifying. So that was what really cemented me into custom car culture, the mini trucking scene. Was going to hangouts and cruise ins, and back then it was cool to go and just cruise at the local parking lot in the Walmart or the sporting goods store, whatever it was. And yeah, I met a
That
lot
was
of
a
cool
good.
people doing that.
That was a good time in automotive world to be in the mini truck scene.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know if it was peak mini truck, but it was like early 2000s. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And it's quite honestly, it's one of the things I keep finding pops up more and more now that I'm doing what I'm doing, is how many people were in the mini trucking scene. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
a lot of people that you see and know were into mini trucks, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there still are. Carrie's
Yeah.
coworker Adam. This is before we knew that he was. I mean, he works for an automotive company, but I don't know. 8 years ago, he's like, I finally bought my dream car. One of her coworkers, what's Mike have?
Oh,
He's got like not a Maserati. It's
No. A yuppie car is what I call
a
it.
yuppie little. It's a tuner 4-door with a nice motor. I mean, it's a turbo. It's a performance car. Then Adam was like, "What does Adam want? Is he like a Chevelle guy or what is he?" He goes, "Nope. He's got a Nissan hardbody.
Yeah,
Slight.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it's got tweed interior in it. Didn't he put tweed interior in it?
so.
Big stereo.
Oh, yeah.
It's here on 80s, 90s, early 2000s mini truck, and that's my dream vehicle. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if it ever get the surgency it had back in the day, but man, I love it. It's really cool.
and some of these shows they're pretty good, man. I go to Battle in Bama. I don't know. You guys have done Battle in Bama before.
Yeah.
The mini trucks come out, and there's got like the first year I went, she's not been to that show, and she goes, "How was that show?" And I'm like, I hugged a lot of dudes. I saw a lot of truckers that I haven't seen. Hot rod shows are still in the sport truck and mini trucks. Sometimes they don't cross over. And it was like, man, I've seen a lot of old friends from like Indy Truck Bash days and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, man, I can proudly say I hugged a lot of dudes. I hugged them. Yeah.
That's exactly what you said when you came home.
Yeah. I'm wanting a square S10 right now for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm doing an OBS for myself, but she's wanting a wagon. I go, how about a 2-door square Blazer S10? She's like, no, I can't get her to it. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do the wall in there, do like
wagon.
318s. It'd be great.
Yeah.
No. Okay, back on you. don't get on the Tim wagon.
So you said you started at Pet Boys.
Yeah, so I was working there doing like service advisor stuff, tire change.
Why did you decide to leave if you were working your way up in the McDonald's? Because if you go up to like manager, they make really good money. Why did you decide? Were you just tired of the food service industry and wanted something new, or what was the switch?
The switch on that, so I went from there and was working at Cracker Barrel, and I was just kind of tired of restaurant stuff. So from during high school till I was out, that was probably 5 years of restaurant. Left there, went to Pet Boys. I think I had a friend of mine that was working there. One of those kind of things. Come over here, we got an opening, and I had an interest in automotive, so I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's go. Let's see what happens.
So to this day, can you still walk in a Cracker Barrel or a McDonald's?
Not much. I mean, like, okay, so Cracker Barrel's a little different because on the road, we do a lot of events on the road, and sometimes that's like the only place you can get vegetables at 6 p.m. and whatever. So that's one thing. McDonald's, not so much.
I literally cannot walk in a Taco Bell. It makes me nauseous.
And she can eat Mexican food 3 meals a day. She cannot do Taco Bell.
I walk in there and I have to go straight to the back. I vomit. Like, I don't.
Yeah. It's bad, right?
It's just like, yeah, I can't do it. So, all right.
Yeah, no, I'm saying on that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we went to Pet Boys, and that was one where I was kind of, still kind of getting a good work ethic and feeling like, oh, this is really good. I'm learning a lot more than I had been. I know how to eat and I can feed people, at least wait on them. But working on cars, there's so many different aspects of it, and kind of learning from the old heads that are in there that are teaching me about flag hours, and okay, if you charge this for this job and you can do it quicker, you're still getting paid for your
So
dollar.
you were working as a tech at Pet Boys.
No, I was more like the tire guy doing
Okay.
oil changes, and
Okay.
then I moved from there to service advisor, but kind of
We
learning
didn't
that.
grow up around Pet Boys, and there's still not many around us here. So I kind of forget they were more than just, they weren't like an O'Reilly. They weren't just
Right.
a pet store. They did service stuff. I kind of forget that about Pet Boys.
Yeah, they were kind of a little bit of everything where you could go in there and get your cherry bomb and then maybe get it installed. Um, which I don't know if I had those up north. I think they were in Tennessee, like maybe, but it was just the local spot. It was like right across the street from my buddy's house, and it was fun.
How long were
So
you
we
at
went
Pet
from
Boys?
there. Let's see. I was probably there 2.5 years. I think that's the shortest amount of time I've ever had a job is 2.5 years. So I was getting into that. I was into mini trucking. Um, I was working on my hard body. I kind of got a little crazy when I was working at Pet Boys because I was young, didn't have to pay rent, and I had money coming in, was feeling pretty good about it. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to lower this thing. I did that myself. That was no big deal. Turned down the torsion bars, so some blocks on it, whatever. And I was like, oh, let's go to the next step. Then I talked to a friend of mine out of Alabama. Actually, it was one of the guys I met at Pep Boys. He was in a truck club. He's like, why don't you come hang out with us? And he's like, hey, well, a buddy of mine does paint and body work, and he also does airbag installs. So I shipped the truck over there, not knowing the guy. Like, he could have been packed it up and just run off with it. So he's like, okay, I'll airbag it for you. Here's the price, that kind of thing. And then one thing led to another. So we were swapping out a 300ZX rear end. We're doing a full back half custom frame on this thing. We're doing a engine swap out of a Nissan Silvia. So we're doing all kind of crazy stuff. And in that time, like I was still at Pet Boys, I was driving his loaner truck. It was like an '87 hard body that had ball valves in it, and the whole rear end had some kind of crazy cantilever suspension. It's like raised it like 3 foot up in there. It was fun. Yeah, so that was my thing. Coming out of Pet Boys was really getting into the truck scene.
So after Pet Boys, where did you end up?
Well, let's see here. So through the truck club, I was going to shows, learning, kind of more stuff about the sport truck scene, mini truck scene, and a friend of mine was working at this place called Audubon Wholesale. So back in the day, that was a mail order company that sold lowering kits, lift kits, Boyd wheels, tonneau covers, all that kind of stuff. And he's like, dude, you should come over here and meet these guys. Come work for us. So I did, and it was great. It was it was it was all the content that I really enjoyed, even though I wasn't like out with people. So I was doing sales and pretty much just phones at that point. So somebody call in, I'd take their order or help them out, whatever they needed, and that kind of led into like an interest in more aspects of that business. So I had a natural curiosity for graphics. So the guy that was working as the IT guy, he's like, "Hey, here's a Adobe Photoshop. Just go play with it, see what you like." And that really kind of started my evolution in the automotive industry. They had, I guess, I was there maybe 6 years. By the time I left, I was doing a lot of their website
And
images
they
and
had
doing.
ads in some of the trucking magazines too back
Oh
in
yeah,
like there was that, and then Styling Concepts and Street
yep.
Scene, all them. It was like all the mail order traders, all that stuff was big.
Exactly. Like and it was an interesting story, and I don't know enough details to tell it great, but there was this company, Chassis Tech AIM Industries, out of Arizona, and then Godfather Customs was a competitor, and they were out of Atlanta, and then us, and most of us were like 15, 20 pages of ads in this magazines, and those three guys had worked together at some point back in the day, and that's kind of the part of this industry that was really, I don't know how to say it. Maybe I learned exactly how not to do things. So that was always, if that's a great experience if you can take that away from something like that. Because they were doing shady stuff. It's like, oh man, this is not a good feeling. So learning that is pretty cool if you know enough to like be aware of it and then get the heck out. Yeah. So I went from Audubon and started working at Godfather Customs. The IT manager that was at Audubon
I
had
remember the
went
name
over and
Godfather
worked
too,
there.
and I guess I didn't know they were from Atlanta. I guess I forgot that.
Yeah, they were like, if you remember back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember this, but on the West Coast, you could go into a customization shop or rim and tire shop, and it was huge. It was like 60, 80,000 square feet and all these wheels on display. That's what Godfather's was in Atlanta, but they were the only ones. So they did the mail order side, but they also did installs and retail sales. And man, when I started working there, they were probably at their peak. You would go in there on a Saturday, it was nothing for them to sell like 100 set of wheel and tires and put them on the same day. It was
Like how big a
unbelievable.
place? Like how many people worked at this place? You think?
God, I would guess to say on a Saturday, they would have 75, 80 people
Oh
between
wow!
sales, warehouse, installation. And it was pretty nuts. I remember they had the owner Hal, he was big into WWE, and he had a friend that was doing stunts for like Baywatch and the WWE and that kind of thing. He got mixed up into that somehow, and he had John Cena come to the shop one time, and there was thousands of people waiting to see this guy. It was just in between rows of wheels and out in the parking lot, and it was just nuts. So that's the kind of like marketing and experience I got working there. And on top
Yeah.
of that, he was doing the dollar car. So he would get 4 or 5 from GM. He'd get 3 or 4 from Ford, and we were putting those together and shipping them out to SEMA. And
I missed the dollar car era stuff. I mean, the
it was
deadlines
pretty neat.
we did a dozen through the years, and man, I miss that. Carrie needs a new car.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
It
part
was
of
it
it
was a
that I
pretty good
missed.
deal.
Yeah, like we got on a run. We did an 8-year run with different GMs, Pontiacs, and Saturns, and Chevys and stuff. So she had a new vehicle every year.
Yeah, yeah.
Now she's got a Caddy with 230,000 miles on it. So
Right. Yeah,
I'm
we
still
could go
driving
for a
my
new
orange.
Malibu.
You've seen my orange Duramax, right?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's my last. That was my last Chevy dollar car.
No kidding. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't plan on ever. I'll put a motor in that thing. I don't plan on ever getting rid of that thing. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we built some pretty cool stuff. We built some pretty shady stuff, but that was some pretty fun times. Yeah, I remember we did one of the last years I was at Godfather's was, I want to say it was about right before or after the HHR came out from Chevrolet. And we did one where it's like Gold Wings and it was with Auto Lock with their, Lambo kit or whatever it was. And then one where, Jeff with Bedwood came down and put this whole Bedwood in the back of this HHR. And we had the one with the Silverado. It was a lot of fun, but we were riding in the back of that trailer, still putting stuff up
Oh yeah. Yeah.
on the way to SEMA.
Yeah.
So I don't miss that. That was
Right?
kind of shame.
Yeah, that's the part I don't miss
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
my birthday's in October. So I got to the point where I moved my birthday to April because it was like I remember
Like
on
we
our
like
truck.
totally moved it. Like
Yeah.
birthday cake, presents, had a party
Yeah.
because we did not have time in October right before the SEMA show to do a birthday party.
Yeah, I remember the last time when we did this last truck, Bob Kern came down to the shop. It was on my birthday. And he's like, "Today's your birthday?" I'm like, "No, I don't even celebrate my birthday in October anymore. I'm an April baby now."
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No, I get that. That's my wife's birthday is November 4th. So
brutal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I love you, baby.
Yeah. You're in the doghouse a lot, aren't you?
Yeah. November's
So
not
maybe
great.
she'll listen to this and she'll realize she can move her birthday away from SEMA. Just
There you go.
yeah, it's something you can do an adult. You can go in and buy a birthday cake whenever you want to.
That's right.
It's like
Yeah.
you can do that with adult money. She can totally have her second birthday and like a real party when you're not at the SEMA show.
Dude, I'm all for it. Let's say July, and we can have a Christmas tree up and birthday
Right?
cake. It'll be great. Yeah, let's just live it up.
Funny you say that because if this curtain was open, I could sit here and see 2 Christmas trees, and it is February. Carrie leaves 4 trees up in the house. When it's Christmas time, there was 14 or 15 trees up.
I love it. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That is
we
awesome.
this is feral life. Just let her do whatever she wants. Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But they're seasonal. Like the one over here is decorated. My mom and dad ran a Christmas tree farm when I grew up. So this one's a memorial tree for my mom, and it's decorated in sunflowers because she was a sunflower person too. And then the other one's a seasonal tree, so it's Valentine's right now. And
Needs
then
to be changed. I'm
yeah.
behind schedule.
yeah, so
That's cool. Yeah.
yeah, you can tell her she can move her birthday. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. As soon as we're wrapped up here, it's on. Let's go.
That's awesome.
Now, don't get me
All right, so-
wrong. In October, I still would have cake.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah.
I got
Oh,
to do it twice. So just
Yeah.
and present I expected. But
Yeah,
anyway.
she's a big Italian family. So celebrations, cakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Getting together, Sunday dinner, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Is she a really good cook
Nothing
too?
new. She's good. She's really.
That's like
No,
putting
she
him on the
is.
spot right
Yeah.
there. I was like,
Like Italians, they love to cook stuff.
They do.
Yeah.
I
No,
went to
she
help
is.
Dave Tucci one time on a Riddler car, and we were thrashing like 20 hours a day, but we'd still go to the restaurant for lunch. I'm like, what are we doing? You've got a full kitchen at the shop, and his mom wants to cook, and he's like, I don't want my mom to cook. We're going to run to the restaurant. Well, he was wanting to break, but then finally, the last few days, his mom cooked. Then I realized why he really didn't want us to eat his mom cooking, because she cooked so much stuff. We needed a nap afterwards.
Oh,
Oh, dude. Yeah,
Made this the whole spread. It's like, oh, I
we-
want to go back and help just eat cooking. So yeah.
the Tucci's know how to do it. We were in Syracuse for the
Oh,
Syracuse
yeah.
Nationals. That vendor appreciation.
Yeah.
Right.
So the
Beautiful.
year we did it, it was COVID year, right? That you went to work the booth out there? Or the year
maybe
after?
The year after.
Year after?
Yeah, somewhere around.
And when Senior, Dave Senior was still around, and the ice, you could go get ice cream whenever you wanted. And it was like, that made us go on a diet after that week.
Oh, yeah.
Use the fried dough balls, and it was like, oh my goodness. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it was nice to have like a little bit of home out there
Yeah.
in Syracuse. They knew how to do it.
For sure.
Yeah, so
So okay, you're at Autobahn, and then you're at Godfather's,
Godfathers.
and then how long were you at Godfather's?
I was there probably 4 years. And actually, I'll tell you a funny story. We're talking before we started, Brad with Bond Speed. So I'm out there with Godfathers at SEMA. I guess it was 2007, 2008. He had done a Bond Speed party. I want to say it's maybe at the Palm or something like that. It was the first one, and I was doing video work. There was Shannon with Friction Nature. He was like our on-camera host, and we would go around kind of like what we're doing with AMD Garage now to an extent. And we were at the Bond Speed party, and
We were at that same party.
Michael Anthony. Shannon is interviewing him, and I'm rolling camera, got our mics up. We're feeling real good, doing everything. Finished the interview, and it was in the middle of the party. So it was like, pretty crowded. As soon as we walked away, microphone was off the entire time.
I had this problem at the Roadster show with my microphone. I recorded 2 hours of stuff and didn't get really very good sound. Yeah.
So Brad's party taught me to always have extra batteries anytime I go doing this dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Brad did that once or twice. He didn't do it very many times. We talked about that, but I have a picture that we got, a group picture with just a handful of people in a corner. We hung out with Larry Dixon. That's kind of when we got to know Larry Dixon, the drag racer. So it's me, Larry Dixon, Bobby Alloway, Troy Trepanier, Michael Anthony, Brad. I don't know if it's Sport Trucks by Dean or Hills Hot Rods.
No, it was
Stroke.
Stroke.
Steve Stroke was in it.
Stroke.
Somebody else. It's like
yeah.
I have it framed. It's kind of faded, but it's a framed picture in the shop of that party. So yeah, those were epic back the days. The kicker big air bash parties, all that stuff at SEMA, man. Nobody really does that stuff anymore at SEMA because they got really expensive. Yeah.
It got a little crazy.
Butcher Shop does. They do a big crazy party, but yeah.
You know, remember like the Coast Airbrush parties and all the pinstriping guys. That was fun.
I guess there's still parties. We're just not cool enough to be invited. If we went to the Catskin party, they still do a big thing, and but we missed the kicker party. They do a smaller invite thing. We missed that this year. So last year.
We're just in different circles now, and we're old, so we like to go to bed early.
Yeah, she gets up so early running the race and stuff. So
yeah.
I'm saying, like, I've got too much I want to get done. I can't be up till like 2:00 acting crazy. No rental cars and people jumping, bashing them in. I can't do all that anymore. But we're there once. Yeah. So I guess I went from Godfathers. I'd got some more interest in working in a restaurant. Godfathers wasn't doing great, so I started working part-time at a restaurant. And they asked me.
There was a time when all those mail order shops just kind of,
it just
like in a
dropped.
year, like they were mostly all gone, man.
Yeah, it was about that same time, like 2008, 2009, when they had the real estate market crash, and that seemed to have really tanked that company. And honestly, they're still around now, but it's a way different looking business than it once was. So I left there, went to a restaurant, worked there for 8 years, and one year out of the blue, friend of mine, guy I'd worked with at Audubon, he was a webmaster there. He called me New Year's Eve. He said, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I said, "I don't know. I'm having a couple of adult beverages and enjoying the night." And he's like, "What? You looking for a job?" I'm like, "No." "Well, come up here and talk to us." I went up there and interviewed at AMD and have been there ever since. It's pretty crazy.
AMD?
Let's see, March I think is 8 years. And I started there. It was a really weird interview because I was going up there. I was like, I'm just going to go up here and just hear what they got to say. So it was myself, Brian, and the owner, Mark. And Mark's like, "This is the weirdest interview I've ever been in." I was like, "I thought I was up here to hear what you guys had to say. I didn't know I was up here for an interview." He's like, "Well, we talked, and he's like, I know you're not necessarily a photographer, but do you think you could do this and get this job done we need done?" I was like, "Yeah, I could do it." I had no idea if I could do it or not. I'm like, "Yeah, I want to be back in automotive." Yeah.
In this industry, we've all said yes to a lot of things, and it's like, yeah, we'll figure that out later. We'll figure that out on a run. Yeah.
We'll be fine.
That's one of the things. Like when I do some speaking things, like don't be scared to say yes. Don't be scared to get out of your comfort zone because then you never know where it'll go. So if you're scared to say yes, you
miss out on a lot.
But don't be afraid to say no.
Yeah, don't be afraid to say
taking on too much.
Yeah, I have that problem too.
Yes,
I have that problem too.
Why do you want the microphone? We're just fighting over the placement of this, like a half inch of the microphone right now.
A lot of people in this industry have a problem with saying no.
Yeah. And sometimes they shouldn't say yes when they say
yes. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So started at AMD.
I'm going to interrupt you here. Where are you right now?
I am at my house. So I'm in my wife's office.
It looks like you're in a prison cell because there is no decoration on the walls.
This is my wife's office. She has a picture of us over here. And then this was supposed to be a office / podcast. So her and the girls were going to get together and have like a whiskey mom night and do the podcast. And I've got lights over here, got lights over there. Showed them how to do this. Should not have said yes. No is okay. Right?
No is okay. That's right.
So this is like her hangout. So like I don't know if you guys have seen I guess you may have seen some of the pictures Eddie puts on social media of his office. Mine's pretty similar. And because when we moved into AMD, so I was there, I'll bring it full circle. So when I started there, they wanted me to work on like on their website, content, pictures, getting stuff up to date, and it was pretty bad. So I was like, okay, we'll start with something hard. So I went out to the warehouse. I got a pallet, one of those Gaylord boxes, and I draped it with white paper, just a roll of white vinyl like you'd find at a print shop. And I took one piece of glass. Here's a windshield. Take the picture, do a couple angles. Next, and I had lights hooked up to this stupid little pallet I had on a pallet jack, and that's where I started. And some of those pictures are still up there. It's like, hey, it works. You can see a windshield. Not that you really need to see a windshield, but some people want to see like, oh, this has the Pentastar logo. This has the DOT. This is AS1. That kind of stuff. And it just kind of grew from there. Taking photos of products, moving it into my office, doing some outside. And then when we moved into our new building, I got this whole photo studio. So I spec'd it all out and I got these 360 turntables and completely is like, all right, if you got everything you wanted, how much I'm going to spend? I was like, let's say $250,000. They're like, all right, cut that in half. What would you get? All right. So at some point I got way more than I wanted, but way less than the total price. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm way ahead anyway because I was using a cardboard box. Yeah. So that sterile environment led me to bring a bunch of stuff from the house and just plaster my wall with. I got like a 29 Ford grill and stuff from Pinstripe by Chris and all that kind of stuff. And I love it. Yeah. So this is not my kind of digs, right?
Yeah, we got stuff. This is our dining room, actually. Our podcast studio is in our dining room, so we have stuff everywhere. And if anybody stays in the spare bedroom, it looks like a teenage boy. I got punk rock posters and Hot Wheels, and we just like stuff.
Tim likes stuff.
I like stuff.
Tim's a pack rat.
I like stuff. I'm kind of
I like cool stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So
then what?
Back to AMD. So, because you're not just doing pictures and stuff now, you've grown in your position. Yep.
What is your official title there now?
I think I stuck with marketing director. We're kind of a small mom and pop shop that looks to be really big, but we're still kind of like a grassroots kind of company. So I just picked marketing director, and that's what we go with.
But I have a very serious question.
Okay.
And I hope you don't take this the wrong way.
Okay.
How is it working with Eddie every day?
I hope he doesn't take this the wrong way. It's great. No, it is. It's great. No, I actually not listening. So Eddie and I worked together. He had just left. I guess it was Source or Prime Media or whatever it was back in the day. He started working with Godfathers, and he was going to do like the events with Hal and kind of revamp that. And I don't know, one thing led to another. He left, but he was there probably for a year and a half, and we kind of stayed in touch. And over the years, just he was doing his thing, I was doing mine, and I started working at AMD and reached out to him. And it took me about a year and a half to get him on at AMD because I knew his passion and what he brings to the industry would be a great fit. Plus, all the event experience and, bringing in the philanthropy and, doing the right thing was great. So that aspect's really good. Him being a pain in the ass is the other side. You got to pay for that. So love you, Eddie.
We're gonna have Eddie on. When Carrie got you lined up, and I was like, just one of them? She goes, yes, we need to do them separate because we're gonna have Eddie on another time and get his whole story.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But
I can't wait for him to see this and then comment.
Yeah, it's like he's the craziest. He's very picky. He's the only guy that I know that goes someplace and he just gets a burger, but it's very specific. It's not really that technical, but they still mess it up, and it's like a burger with cheese, whatever, and it's this. He hands it to the waitress, and I think we ate Tulsa with him at what's the place right on Route 66? Really good food.
Oh yeah.
We ate there twice, I think.
The diner.
The diner.
Mhm.
You were there with him, and I think sometimes the waitresses take an offense to it, and they purposely screw it up. If it's written right on a little business card, and he just hands it, and you get to keep it. This is Eddie's burger order, and then they're like, they're still put mayonnaise on it or whatever. Yeah. Carrie just had that. We went to Denny's. We're going to the Roadster show. We left Barrett Jackson and going. She's going to King of the Hammers, and she had to stop, get on her computer to Denny's, and open registration for a different event. You're at a Denny's, and they had no BLTs.
Oh man, come
like,
on!
What? The lady comes out, and she brings the menu. And is like, we don't have BLTs on our menu anymore.
No, she didn't bring the menu. She takes the menus away. She comes back out, and she's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. We no longer have BLTs. We've changed our menu. And I looked at her, and I'm a little stressed. So I said, may I have a menu, please? And she brings me a menu, and I just...
And the lady's standing there like, we're not in the greatest area in part of California. And it's like, all the waitresses have like neck tattoos. Like, I think they're all in a gang. Like, I was like, pisses people off. We're going to get stabbed in the parking lot.
We had to park because we had my niece's RV. We had to park it down the road, and we were wondering if it was going to be there when we got back. But, so I'm flipping through, and I get to the sandwiches, and I go, did you have this? And it was like a chicken club something. She's like, yes. I said, take the chicken off, take this off, and that is a BLT. And I just handed her back. And I
did an Instagram post, and I says it was just like that scene in Tommy Boy when Tommy wasn't thinking, and he talked the waitress into making wings for him at the end of the day. It's like, that's totally what it was. But that waitress never came back. She made another waitress come back because she was not happy with Carrie. And they put mayonnaise on it just in spite. So
yeah. All right. So can we talk about this? Because I've thought about this being worked in restaurants, and somebody's out of something. You can't send anybody to the grocery store and pick up something real quick. It's for one shift. Come on. That's a thing. Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't pick up bacon, lettuce, something. Right.
They had everything. They just didn't have that button on their computer. Yes. And how does a Denny's not have a BLT?
Right?
Yeah, come on.
That's what gets me is like that, and that's why like when I'm doing registration and I'm like creating these events, like do not tell me I don't have a button for that. Like come up with a better excuse that you can't do something for me, because telling me you just don't have a button for it means you don't care and you're not willing to try.
Yeah.
So that is Subway is the worst of that. You want to go to Subway? Oh, I can't make that. I don't have a button. What do you mean you don't have a button? You have the bread. You have this. You have that. Put it all together.
Right. Yeah. Just charge me and let's go. It's not that big.
I don't care. Charge me the highest price sandwich. I don't care. Yeah, it's crazy. I get very angry. And I think coming from food service, and just like when you were on TV and then you are very anal about the TV shows that you watch, coming from food service, you get very anal about knowing what can be done, what just make it happen.
But working in the food service industry, it trains you whether you think about it or not. Even if you worked a year at McDonald's or something, on how to deal with the general public. If you're, cash register or even, ordering or, hey, we're out of stuff, letting your superior know that it trains you to be a good part of the society. It really does.
Yeah.
It does. It's crazy.
All right, so that was a tangent. Where were we?
I know, right? Keep going back to food.
Yeah, so you got Eddie there. Yeah, you got Eddie at AMD here finally. So how long has Eddie been there now?
We were talking about that today. I told him it felt like he was there 8 years. He said, no, it's only been 4. I said, no, it's got to been way longer than that. It feels like forever. So 4 years is the official quote today.
Working with Eddie is like equivalent to dog years.
Yes.
It's 100%. Times 7. Yeah.
Oh, Eddie, I love that guy.
He's going to punch me the next time he sees me. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
He's not even here to defend himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're not to talk crap about people that aren't here. We're just getting the story out. We're not really talking crap about him.
We love you, Eddie.
Yeah, we love Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
So you guys have been doing a phenomenal job on your marketing and your garage and everything that you're doing with that. So tell us a little bit about how that all came about.
So that kind of came about after I was like started at AMD. They had a advertising company that was doing their catalogs and all their print ads and stuff. And I kind of was like, hey, I can do that while I'm doing this. It kind of ties in together, and um, we just kind of started adding stuff. I kind of took over that from them. So I was doing all their print ads. I was like, you guys know you're paying like full price for some of these magazine ads. I don't know. It's been a few years since I've been in this, but I've never heard anybody actually pays sticker price on magazine ads. Um, and then we just started taking over social media. Like they have had a YouTube channel forever, like since they started the company. And it was not ever attended to. And it's been a real fight to try and get that turned around because that was just mainly old Mopar guys, which I love, but that was the only thing that channel was going out to. And
Which
I'm trying to
Brian
push
Lowe's,
out.
the NHRA TV announcer, he
Yeah.
says the Mopar guys are the Star Trek fans of the automotive world.
I can probably agree with that.
Yeah. It's not really a diss. It's just they're in their own little market.
Yep.
And they're very passionate about their vehicles. She runs Moparty, and they're some of the most passionate people about their brand. They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll let you know, it's like, that's the wrong battery cable end on that Hemi car.
100%.
Some of the Tri-5 guys are like that, but they're not as bad now. They're a little chiller. But Mopar guys, they're hardcore. I love Mopars. So
I would agree. And I honestly, I'm thinking about that. The Mopar crowd is what kind of AMD started as their target audience. So the first panel or first body restoration part that AMD ever produced was a 69 Charger tail panel. And the owner, Mark, I'll give you a little backstory. He has owned every one of one Hemi car you could ever think of, but it was back in the 80s and 90s when nobody really wanted them. Mm-hmm. And that was always his passion. So he went from one company to another and sold this company and started AMD, and that's what he wanted to do. So I give them credit for AMD's success on a quality standpoint because they're a bunch of Mopar nuts. So they got to have this castle nut that's supposed to go specifically at this clock with this chalk mark to be OE correct. They brought that mentality to the Ford Fairlane and Galaxy parts we now make, and the square body stuff that we've produced and the OBS stuff. So the quality has really been there where it may not have been if it was, a Chevy guy like me. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah. Mopar guys, love them. And Moparty, what a great event. We always have a good time out there.
I can't wait to get you guys back this year.
I know. Eddie, come on. Where are you at?
I know, Eddie. I know. I need to call him. I have a really good idea that came to me in a dream.
You're dreaming about Eddie?
No, not at all. I get these.
Mopars.
No, my and Betsy's the same way. Like we have these ideas that come to us in the shower. Like that's the best place I come up with my ideas is in the shower. So Eddie, if you're listening to this, I came up with a great idea in the shower the other day. I want to talk to you about it.
It's more uncomfortable for me to hear that you were thinking about Eddie in your shower or in your dreams.
It was a nightmare. That was when you woke me up and I was screaming.
Oh, like me dreaming about clowns?
Yes.
It's like, oh, you having a dream again?
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
No, I do. I'm super excited. I've got a really good idea. I think you guys are gonna.
So that was probably a good thing since the company already had a YouTube, because some of these companies, you see some of these companies that man, they should be doing more. Like content is king anymore, and it's just hard to get people. Some of these old school companies that we talk to companies. A lot of people don't even know what a podcast is.
Right.
But, a lot of the guys that we get are old history guys that help start the industry.
Brad Fanshawe.
Yeah, Brad Fanshawe. But I always use Bob Larrabee Sr. That's the Detroit Auto Runner promoter, and he's 95 now. He was 93. He doesn't even have a cell phone.
Yeah.
Of course, these people that their daughter couldn't even figure out how to click on a Zoom link to do it. They had to go to the neighbor. I mean, some of these people, some of these older guys own these companies, and getting them to do not only, yes, we need to have a presence at the car shows, we need to do content, we need to have Instagram, Facebook, and I don't have Facebook, but that they already had that early YouTube channel, that was a good start in the right direction, probably.
Yeah, I think somebody at some point had the right idea. They never really had enough knowledge or somebody on site to actually take and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I think what it
that's
was,
all I did.
yeah, because like we have our we actually got our YouTube channel back in 2013. And
Yeah.
I feel like I don't remember, but I feel like something back there back in the early 2000s, like something spiked and we're all like we need to do this, but we all like froze and we're like we just weren't ready to take that next step and we didn't know the processes.
And there's still
And then,
people that like, I have buddies. I talked to him yesterday. I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. But he's like, oh, I seen that guy. He's trying to be a YouTube guy. I was like, no, that's just another market to not only promote yourself, but there's a chance you could make money, get different sponsors and stuff. It's just a whole other avenue that is present for us in this world of, stupid videos, tech videos, or whatever. And it's just,
well, and that's one of the things that we're seeing. I don't know what you guys see on your side of it, but we're seeing on ours is the older people are watching our YouTube versus our Spotify or any of our other social media or Apple or any of that kind of stuff. Is we're seeing the older crowd.
yeah, our YouTube numbers aren't good. We get Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. That's where our big numbers are. But like if you look at the demographics, like you said, it's like
it's
50 to 65-year-olds watching YouTube.
Yeah. I think with all the upheaval in the motor trend and TV and stuff like that and cable going away, YouTube is now a legacy brand, and that's where you've got older users. I think it's great.
So I never thought about that. I hated that when they made all that stuff go to YouTube, the motor trend brand of all that you had to go on. But I think it made that generation go and figure out YouTube because I wanted to watch my Roadkill. I want to watch my Hot Rod Garage guys, all them. They had huge following. And so I think that's good because, I mean, my dad can't figure out YouTube, but.
Well, it's just because it's just like Tim on social media or on his phone is you go down this rabbit hole. You start watching this and the next thing you know, you go on there because you want to fix your sink and the next thing you know, you're watching out about how to plant flowers. Like it's just and and 3 hours.
Our friend Scuba Steve, he would say, "Yeah, I'm laying in bed." He'd come out one night, I was tired. I go, "Why?" He goes, "Oh, I was looking on how to fix my dryer at home." And next thing you know, hour and a half later, I'm watching these kids in Indonesia building rings out of quarters. It's like what?
I love that part of the whole social media rabbit hole, but man, it's a time suck. Like I saw these guys, same kind of thing. They were I guess they were rebuilding oil filters, some little dirt hut in the middle of who knows where, but they were spinning them off, pulling it out, putting new thing in, crimping it on, and putting it in a box. I was like, I don't know how we ended here, but that was kind of cool to see it. I don't know if I'm going to be ordering one, but that was kind of cool. Yeah. So we when we started, I don't even remember exactly like how we decided or if I just decided. I think what it was, I wanted to push more social media. They had a Facebook page, but it was all screwed up. There was one that was like at Automotive Direct on Facebook, and then one's like at Automotive Direct AMD, and then each guy in the sales team had their own. It was weird. So I just started an Instagram page. I'm like, I'm just going to ask for forgiveness. If they don't like it, well, we'll just delete it. Call it a fan page. I don't care. And just kind of started taking off with that. When I started doing that, started to get some traction. And I've always looked at it as if we take social media and make that about the community, that's another way that I can help advertise and establish AMD actually cares about the C10 guys, the Mopar guys, the Ford guys, the different event promoters. Because anybody who follows our social media knows that we push out a ton of other events, other you know even competitor events. It'd be whether this company here is the headline sponsor. It's not about that. It's more helping these guys push their event because they're doing it for the right reasons, or these guys are doing it for the right reasons. And that's the way I've always looked at Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Really, LinkedIn's a little different. YouTube's obviously a little different, but even then, like I was with Ronnie on C10 Talk, and I'm scheduling posts. I was like, man, I'm gonna message Ronnie and be like, hey, look, I'm gonna promote the hell out of this. If it gets to be too much, just say something. If you're not liking everyone, I don't care. It's more to help you and your audience and see that AMD does care about the community.
Yeah, and then sharing is very important. Some people we get on, they won't share. They don't do it or whatever because we have our core audience of people. Well, you've also got your audience of people. So when you share it, it gets into your audience and helps everybody. So Ronnie's I've been on Ronnie's before. He's was one of the inspirations of us starting this, along with Chris Coddington and then David Steele of American Hot Rod Foundation. Ronnie kind of goes hot and cold. He was really consistent. Then he took a little break. Now he's kind of putting them back out again, and he does a really good job. Ronnie does,
yeah. It was fun. It was fun.
I talked to him right before his. We were at Barrett right before. He didn't have the greatest time because it was getting late and the place was half empty when he sold his square body 4-wheel drive. He still did well selling it, but he was like, my wife decided that. He said, I wanted to enjoy it for another year. And she reminded me, we got 2 kids in college and stuff. Maybe now, he's like, we're selling the truck. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Having a daughter that's pole vaulting in Daytona at college can't be cheap. I just imagine. And I was like, Ronnie, come on, you missed a big opportunity. She could be a welder, a plumber, electrician, go into the trades. What are you doing, man? Oh, no, she won't do that. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, right. Yeah, and like for different podcasts, we don't do that as far as AMD as a company, just because we've only got so much time in the day, and we may seem calm up top, and man, our feet are pedaling underwater. So just adding one more thing, it's like, well, let's support everybody that's doing podcasts. We'll do our thing.
We're so busy going opposite directions. This is our date night. So welcome to our date night.
That's very nice.
Spending time together. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much about the only time we do get to sit down and have a conversation. So it makes us do it.
So your videos and stuff, and you're working with our good friend Kevin Tates, which he's been on the podcast. He's the reason that we're in Tennessee. I don't know if you know that story. Listen to the Kevin interview, and so Kevin's the best people. Him and his wife are just some of the best people we ever meet, and people love him, and he's really good at teaching and talking to the public and all that stuff. And
the squirrel.
He's a squirrel. Yeah. Ask him to see his Mr. Peepers impersonation. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It is good.
Yeah. He does a great Chris Kattan. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I bet he does.
Yeah. And so you guys always kill it when you guys do your booths at Columbus. You have guests that come and builders come in. You guys do a big program at hopefully Mo Party. You guys do a big thing at the Triple Crown, and the builders and Kindig and Chip and Mank for some reason. Mank.
Steve.
Yeah. And so you guys do it. It makes it. I don't know. It's like, I'm part of the AMD team. I got there. It's like part of being part of the cool kids group. So it's a different world instead of just buying sheet metal out of stuff that. But you guys you're kind of known for the sheet metal. But what else do you guys sell at AMD?
Man, we're heavy in development right now on interior stuff. Some weather strip and seal, like a majority of our parts we get from Precision, replacement parts. Some repop stuff that Precision might not carry, but we're really trying to go for the more than metal mantra. We've been kind of pounding that drum for the last year and a half. We've been heavy in
You
trucks.
got OBS dashes because me and Kevin did the video. My
Oh yeah.
OBS is. I was actually before I came in. I was putting some AMD front fenders on my OBS the night. So
Oh
we got
nice. Yeah, yeah,
new
yeah.
aftermarket dash. We did a how-to install video with Kevin, and so yeah, you guys are doing all kinds of different having plastic pieces done and uh, full body cabs. You can get a whole square body cab from you guys. As a hot
Yeah.
rod builder, it's been around 32 years running my shop. I never thought not only like I remember it was a big deal when a company came out with full quarter panels for a Chevelle because you had to put the patches in them. And
Right.
so why don't anybody do 59 and 60? They're different. Impala quarter panels. Nobody does a quarter panel for those. Is it because of the deep stamping? It's so hard to do. I mean, there's a lot of people building them. Do you think? I mean, obviously C10 square body Chevelles, Mustangs, Chargers are big, but does nobody think the market's there that's going to pay for itself to do a full quarter panel for one of them?
I don't know. We've definitely talked about this, and I think some of the old guard at AMD had tried some Impala stuff. Didn't necessarily develop it, but was trying to sell it. A lot like the OBS market, and I don't know that they had enough reach where they could make it successful. So
Yeah.
like 63, 64 Impala stuff, they used to carry at AMD and it just never really moved. So that kind of gave them, oh, well, Impala's not really our thing. I was like, well, you might want to look at it because we
Yeah.
could use a full floor pan. We could use quarter panels. And if I remember, and I don't know them well enough to, speak intelligently about it, but the quarter panels, didn't they have like a deep,
The
kind of deep,
59's really deep, and then the fin
and it
comes
has,
almost the back,
right. Isn't it
parallel.
a top piece that's maybe separate
Yeah,
and it's blended
yeah.
in?
There's a pinch weld that goes underneath the side molding on a 59 fin. Yeah,
I think they could do it. I'm
yeah,
pushing for it. I'd really like
yeah,
to see them do some bubble top stuff. 59, 60. I'm all
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
They did do Ford Galaxy, and that hadn't been the best moving line. So I don't know if they're kind of gun shy at full size cars, but I can tell you,
Yeah.
Impala is not a Ford Galaxy. You see
Mhm.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
at the
And
shows,
Impalas
the
are
big
not
guys.
only in the Pro Tour and Street Machine guys, but the lowrider guys too. So I think, but I mean, obviously, it's hard to deny how popular the truck market is right now. Is that what do you think is your biggest market right now? Is it the truck stuff?
Well, I mean, probably from an outside looking in, you would think that the number one is still 69 Camaro. That's still our biggest market.
Which I can
Follow.
say honestly, I've said this many times. I hope I can finish out my career as a hot rod builder and never touch another first gen Camaro.
I don't
Because
know. It's
I am
crazy.
publicly not a Mustang fan,
Yeah.
and at I don't know if you were there last year at Columbus when we were doing the Saturday night Street Machine Street Rod of the Year thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of my friends get heckled a lot more. I'm on the microphone trying to be professional, working for good guys, and I was like, man, this is hard for me to say because I don't like Mustangs, but that East Coast muscle car, that red East Coast or East Bay, East Coast, no, East. There's an East. Anyway, they built that red like '67 fastback with the white
Yeah.
interior.
Yeah.
Just they build amazing stuff, and he still gives me a hard time. So during the I made some Mustang people mad because there was like 3 Mustangs in the finals that year,
Yeah.
and the next day during the awards, and the Mustangs come through, and I go, okay, so if you were here last night, I guess I kind of need to apologize if I offended some of the Mustang guys that I said I don't like Mustangs. So to be fair, I don't like Camaros either. So laugh and have people. It's just I just like different stuff, I guess, because
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
they're all great. I just love anything that people are building. But yeah, I hope I get through my career and not have to do a first gen Camaro.
Another first gen Camaro. Yeah, that is our number one selling platform.
Hmm.
Followed closely by 68.9 Charger, and then top 10 is 6772 C10 square body. Ford truck, we're doing a ton on the 73 to 79, so that one's been pretty strong for us.
That's the
Yeah.
market that blows my mind because those were, I know I'm showing my age, those bump sides and dent sides were just farm trucks. Like that's
Yeah.
what all farmers had was the 4-wheel drive ones and stuff. And that, seeing people building them now, it's cool because that was just stuff that we drove to the neighbors and hauled hay in them and put pigs in them, and now people
Yeah.
are building them. So yeah,
Yeah. I wasn't, I thought for sure that the 73, 79 Ford trucks, that 90% of them were long beds because that's all I remember when I
yeah,
was younger.
yeah.
I didn't really ever see any short beds. And now that's like our number one Ford truck thing. It's like, all right, well, where the hell's our long bed stuff at? I saw a lot of those guys. Yeah, so I'm
Right.
right there with you. That was a work truck.
What about OBS bedsides? You got OBS bedsides in the future?
We do. We just test fit them. Okay, maybe a couple weeks ago. They've got some tweaks they need to do, but yeah, those are in the works. That was one of the few parts where we actually went to GM and bought NOS stuff, put it off to the side, and then just started tearing down trucks. We're probably 3 years into developing OBS stuff, and it's starting to come around. Like this
Yeah, because my
morning, I
OBS,
loaded
like you
this.
do tailgates, doors, hoods, and fenders. There
Yep.
was just no bedsides. So
Yeah, yeah. So since then we released the front bed panel. This morning I loaded up the bed floors. So we
oh,
have
okay.
stock and we have the 5 inch wider bed floors for the OBS. Working on the bed sides. I think we're gonna work on our own tooling for the tailgate, and then hopefully rear bumpers. That's something that's seems to be a needed thing in the OBS market. A decent rear bumper. So
That's
I
what
don't
I
know.
think is
That's great.
world weird. Some of us guys will talk about that. Back when those OBSs were first new and they were hot, and all the hot rodders, everybody had an OBS truck.
Yeah.
They pulled the moldings off of them, shaved the emblem. I mean, they left the door handles on because they got kind of a flush handle that looks pretty good. But that's what they did. Now everybody's building these and the C10s, which is
Yeah.
good for the aftermarket parts people. 90% of them, we're putting the wheel trims on, we're putting the side moldings on, and I took all that crap off my OBS.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not putting any of that molding stuff on it. I want it. I'm building it like a '90s truck. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have the little stubby antenna and get rid of the wipers, and I'm gonna have maybe a billet grill, maybe Phantom. I don't know
yeah,
what you guys
yeah,
can find. That's cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I'm the same way. Yeah.
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 Very
So
cool.
that's a lot of our like the bed floor. I just loaded up this morning wider tub. So on those trucks, you can keep the leaf springs and still get 3 inches more clearance. But then if you want to switch to a 4 link, you can bring that inside the rails and you can have the full 5 inches of width for,
So
I
are
don't
you
know, you
making
probably
the
get
wheel?
315.
So you're not only the floor, but you're making the widened tub too.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay. You need my address. I need. I
Done.
need.
Sold.
I need a set of those for my truck. So I didn't know that was available yet. I was going to like, I need to cut that because I got my tires. I got 10s underneath of it, and I
Yeah.
need to cut that just for a little bit of clearance on it. So
Yeah, I know a guy. We can take that out of Eddie's budget and just
yeah,
it's
yeah,
heading to Tennessee in the morning.
yeah. He can skip 2 hamburgers and just have a Lunchable.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He will.
You'll buy him 2 hamburgers.
I'll buy my
Yeah,
hamburger.
you'll buy.
Yeah, I'll buy.
Yeah. Yeah. Cook him one. He'll love it.
No, I ain't cooking anyone.
No,
I know I
he
won't
will not be
satisfy him.
around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tim is
No.
a pretty damn good cook.
I am a pretty good cook.
Yeah, he's a pretty good cook. So
Yeah.
he does all the cooking here. But,
So what is there a future market that you can just say yes and like that you're looking at? Like we've talked about the Impalas. Is there something else that you guys see coming down? Talked about the Ford trucks. What do you think is the next? I'm excited about the OBSs because I couldn't afford the OBSs when they first came out. I have
Right,
probably
same.
painted more OBS trucks than almost anybody that's going to listen to this because I worked there 32 years ago at the Chevy dealerships when the peeler trucks were going.
Oh yeah.
So I would paint. I could get through 2.5 peeler trucks in a week. That the GM paid, and everybody would just bring their farm trucks in, and we just repaint them. We weren't fixing dents, and just they put paint on. So man, I painted a lot of. I was there for a year. I painted a lot of OBS trucks during that time, and they couldn't keep the paint on them. So I'm excited about OBSs that are back and strong and stuff because I'm building an OBS that I wanted and I couldn't afford when they were new.
his keeper truck.
I'm building a keeper truck.
Yep.
I'm building a keeper truck. Yeah.
that he's chopping this weekend.
Yeah, I've always I've done some keeper stuff, and people always end up buying them from me. I am screwing this one up so much that nobody's going to want to buy it from me.
Hell yeah.
Between
That's awesome.
body mods, the chop top, the interior, the paint,
That's gonna be Tim's truck forever.
Yeah,
Until they see it, then it's sold.
Yeah. I'm actually putting Strange Motion logos under the clear, so you're going to have to be a really big Strange Motion fan to want to buy this.
Hell yeah.
Or pay me to repaint.
They're out there.
Yeah.
But I'm chopping them. Some people don't like chopped ones, so I'm cutting the window frames off them AMD doors this week.
Cut them, baby. I love it.
Yeah, I've always wanted to chop daily.
Next, what would I say is next? I mean, we're looking at some of the. I would say the obvious stuff like the third gen Camaro, G body stuff, whether it's like 84, 87 Regal, Grand Nat, Monte Carlo SS.
Are those just old? This makes me hard to believe. You can't buy a GM third gen fender anymore, can you?
Mm-mm.
So third gen Fox bodies. Okay, so I'm going to say that about Fox bodies. I will build a 69 Camaro over a Fox body Mustang.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Because
strong.
We're not supposed to talk bad about people, but when Fox bodies come out, they were mostly owned by douchebags. Rich farm kids are douchebags. That's where I live. And no matter what you were in, like I had a 283 4-speed 64 Chevelle was my summer car in high school, right out of high school. Every time a Fox body pulled up next to you, he's revving it and wanted to race.
Yep.
It's Mustang people. They still do that. But
sidewalks
I think it's cool that everybody's building suspension parts so you can kind of see that market coming when you got people building aftermarket suspension kits for that. They're like, oh, we need to maybe start looking at that sheet metal. So if they're developing that market, it's got to put a flag in you guys' like to look that way at stuff.
Well, I tell you, the next one I was thinking about, and it's probably going to make us all feel old, is the 99 to 06 Silverados, the new body style, cat eye Chevy trucks.
Yeah.
There's a huge following for those. And
I still have trouble calling them OBSs and NBSs because to me, I guess I'm an old guy. An old body style is like something from the 20s.
Right.
I never heard OBSs until they come back this last thing. And some people say it was Travis Nowak. Travis says no, it was somebody else that called them old body style. It's like, that's just so we call them in the industry. It doesn't make any sense, but
it was common, abbreviations back when I was working at Audubon. Like if somebody called in and said I had because there was like the 99 crew cabs were actually an OBS. And then when the newer trucks came out, you had the 07 Classic, which was still an 06. So there was some.
I could see that because our first dually was a 99 crew cab dually short bed, and it was still the 99s looked different, but they called that it was the old body style. So yeah, but I worked when them trucks came out new. So when you had to order parts, it was a GMT 400. It was a GMT truck, or just 88 to 98. That's I still call them that, or GM. Nobody calls them GMT, but if you went to the parts counter to order a fender, you had to have it's a GMT 400.
Yeah,
and that's 1500. It was a GMT truck. Yeah,
right. Yeah, and that's like we would sell a lot of Beltec and McGoy's, and those suspension kits, and we get a lot of calls for that. And
is that how you say that name, McGoy's?
McGoy's, yeah. That's how I've always said it. Actually, I think that's how they say it.
I put an extra syllable in it, but
They that was back when they were new, and I don't know where it originated from. Maybe it was Travis, maybe it was one of the guys from trucking. I don't know, but that's the way I've always known them. And I throw that into all of our SEO on our website, and trying to mix that. I use GMT 400, 410 use the ones for Suburban just in case. If I do a lot of the website layout, so that's a whole nother podcast.
Those cat eyes, I think those are starting to come on because again, people are starting to build suspension lowering kits for them that really didn't build any there for a while.
Right. Yeah, so that's kind of the next thing on at least the GM side. Mopar is it's funny because I get a lot of requests for 73, 74 Roadrunner stuff, quarter panels.
Mm-hmm.
I just I don't see them out there. I don't get a lot of feedback from people that are kind
Yeah,
of
I
keeping an eye
start
on this
seeing them.
on
Those
that.
are probably one of my least favorite body styles of the Mopars, but I got a
Yeah,
couple buddies or guys that I know that have them. Um, there's quite a few of them that come to Moparty
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
with that body style of car, and because that's the body style that Daisy Duke had, right? She had a
yep,
yellow one and she wrecked it, right? That's that body
yeah,
style. Yeah.
yeah. And then we I've got probably three cut down like '08 Challengers at the shop right now, where we were looking at should we look at the rocker panels? Should we look at the quarter panels? And those cars have a ton of like foam in there on
Mm-hmm.
the inside of that, and they just hold water. But there's a couple companies that are already making patches. We're like, we got enough on our plate. Let's stick to the classics. So
It seems like such a new car to be building a panel for, but an '08
yeah,
is almost 20 years old. Like when the OBSs were
oof.
new, we like being in Illinois, we were straight east of Chicago, so that
West.
Yeah.
salt or straight west, sorry. Uh yeah. And we fixed cab corners and bedsides on farm trucks that were still less than 36,000 miles on them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The northern stuff they just rusted so bad. So, but yeah, so I guess a almost 20-year-old vehicle hurts my
Yeah.
brain that a 2008 in a couple years is going to be a 20-year-old vehicle. That hurts my brain.
It's it's disgusting. I can't take it.
It
Well,
is.
yeah, like thinking about that, like even now, like anybody's gone up to Carlisle after the show, you're sitting at the hotel and you're watching some cruising, man, you will see what I would consider a new truck rusted out.
Yeah,
Fender
Mm-hmm.
well's gone, the rockers are gone, the bed is chewed, and that's just the way it is.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So we as AMD we kind of look at that kind of thing, whether it comes to fruition or not. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but we'll look that far ahead because development can take years and years. Like our square body program's probably, I would say 8, 10 years in the making right now. So
Mhm.
it's a long game, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, do you still have a mini truck?
I don't know. I'm building a 66 C10. I've gone, and thanks to Eddie, or no thanks to Eddie, I bought this truck. It was a pretty cool story. So I had a '59 CJ that I bought because of a ex girlfriend, and it was fun, but it was not for me. Like it was uncomfortable. It wasn't great to go on any kind of road trip, much less around Atlanta. Um, so the first opportunity I got to get rid of that thing, I did. It ran good. It was, had a little Buick V6 in it and was fun to put around town. But a friend of mine that used to work for me said, "Hey, there's this old truck sitting in this, guy's carport he wants to get rid of." So I went and go look at that, and it had some, tree had knocked the hood in, that kind of thing. And I was like, "Man, what do you take for it?" So I sold the Jeep, bought that truck. Turned out it came out of New Jersey. He bought it. I don't know where he bought it from, but he said the guy had put like a GM crate motor in it. It was a 350, and used to be a dirt track push car because it had like these two giant angle iron front
Mm.
crash bars on the front bumper. It looked pretty cool. So I was like, I'm gonna buy it, drive it. Had a 305 in it, wasn't a 350. Had a turbo 350. It was fun, but going around shows like if I was driving up Tennessee through the mountains, it just wouldn't keep up. It wasn't
Mhm.
it wasn't as enjoyable as it could be. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do some stuff to it. We did some tech articles with Rob at Classic Truck Performance, did a big back window. Now it's just snowballs. So there's a GSI chassis sitting in my garage now. The cab is off over at Rockford's getting painted, and I'm putting in the airlift, air management. Yeah, so it's gotten way out of control. That's what I'm trying to say.
So
Yeah,
why is
yeah.
this
So
Eddie's fault?
this is Eddie's fault because he's like, well, we could do it. It'd be really good for the company. Let's look at doing this. And what about this? What if we get Mike Losh? He'll. I was like, Eddie, slow down. I'm going to be doing the work to that, and I'm on the road a lot, so I don't know if I'm going to have that much time. And
Yeah.
that's really been the biggest slowdown is me being on the road, being at work, and not having the weekends, with my wife and daughter, and she's doing soccer and she's doing tumbling, she's doing Girl Scout.
So, yeah,
It'll get done when it's done.
how many events are you on the road for a year?
Last year, so I didn't go to all of them. Eddie's got me on that, but I think we did 38 events total last
Wow.
year with
So
what
I
we
do
had
with my
at the
announcing
shop.
stuff. I do about a little over 20, 22 this year, maybe. And then she's not that many, but they're putting on all the events that they do. But
Yeah,
we don't have kids, so I don't like. It's rough to do all this automotive stuff if you're really in it. Like to go to all the events. We never did that. So
I don't know how people do it with kids.
yeah.
you
Crazy.
just roll the dice and see what you get and come out on the other end.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah,
If we had a
that's tough.
kid, they wouldn't like us anyway, so they wouldn't want
They
us
wouldn't
around. Be like,
care.
"Oh, I'll go stay with grandma."
We'll be fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
guys,
Imagine
I
how
think
asshole that kid would be if they were offspring of us. Probably be the total opposite and be either like a preacher or a nun or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
or both, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's I would say the last couple of years are really getting focused on Eddie. Let's not kill ourselves, and that was the
Mhm.
whole idea behind Columbus. We wanted to take what we did at Triple Crown and take it to Columbus and just go over the top. But we do more of that and maybe less number of events. And that's kind of what our goal is. Like this year, we'll still do probably 25, but we want to make sure it's a bigger presence so we can bring everybody in. Like at Columbus this year, we're going to have the whole, history of GM truck where we'll have a full square body build from scratch. We're going to have the idea is to have one of every square body truck on display, and then here's the 80 trucks and here's the 55 59 stuff, and have little sections of that. So we're going to get a little more real estate and bring in some people and try and put a truck together during all that. I don't know. I mean, it's nothing new, but it's something new for us. So if we can put together a C10 and drive it on the cruise lane, we'll be happy.
Cool.
Yeah, very awesome. Cool. Yeah. So is
Yeah,
this?
it's not.
Have you announced this before?
We've well, anybody that knows Eddie, yes, we've announced it before, but not really. Yeah. There's no secrets with Eddie. Yeah.
So
But
that's cool.
that's the goal. I mean, it's ambitious. People have done it with some Tri 5 stuff. Some guys have done it with 30 Ford stuff, and I think we can get it together and put it where like Rob with No Limits going to put a chassis under it, and we're going to get. I don't know. I don't know who all Eddie's got partnered with this thing because that's his domain.
The
I just
guys
make
at
sure
Orange
he's got
County
what he
Hot
needs.
Rods did that a few years ago with the Grand National Roadster Show. They did a '69 Camaro,
Yeah.
drove it in, LS'd it. They kind of pre-mocked up some wiring harness stuff, but put I don't know whose chassis that they did. Unbolted the whole chassis.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and did the stubs and then the ties, and they fired it up. Sunday noon or something.
Yeah, early. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it is cool.
that's the goal.
People really like to watch that. Like it's very cool.
Yeah, we had a pretty good reception on the. We had the Mopar last year, kind of theme and doing the Challenger install. We did a floor pan, some rust repair, and this kind of thing, and that was good. Working with Eastwood and having them come on board, and we gave away like their welder at the end of the thing, which was fun. With Lou Santiago, that guy's a nut. He called the lady. It's like, hey, this is Lou Santiago. You want a welder? And she swore up and down, who is this? Is this Eddie? Are you pranking me? And he finally just hung up on her, called somebody else. And then like 20 minutes later, she's calling my cell phone. I was like, sorry, wrong number. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Like, well, maybe that's not maybe we'll find a different way to do it this year. But it was it was fun. We had a good time. So we're looking forward to that. And good guys
So
always help.
usually we have a question here towards the end of what you want to build, where you're building your
Mhm.
Chevy truck. You want to ask him your?
So I have a two-part question. The first part of my question is, what is one event that you've never been to but it's on your bucket list? And then the other side of that is, what is your favorite event that you love to go to?
And this could be personal, not for
Right.
AMD.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I always like to go to whatever.
Yep.
Man, that's tough. I mean, I'm kind of a squirrel moment kind of guy, and I've seen like King of the Hammers footage, and that's like one of those that I'd really like to attend. Um,
I went the first time this year. It's very cool.
yeah, man, it looks like really cool, and I love all that kind of stuff. And um, that or what's the one on the Rock? John
Gathering the
Jackson's
Rock.
always covering it. Yes,
Gathering the Rock.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd like
Yeah.
to check that out. Um, yeah, so one of those two would probably be top of mind, and then I guess, man, this is tough because there's so many events that we do that I don't know. Probably my one of my favorites. I can tell this like I'm thinking of Tennessee is GM Truck Fair. It's in Greenville, Tennessee. It's a small show that's growing, but it's done for the right reasons. So Brian Harrison puts that on. It's at the Greene County Fairgrounds, and I really like the atmosphere in
When
Greenville.
is that one?
Man, it's August, mid August, 13th, 14th, maybe 14th, 15th.
Okay.
And so the night before they do a VIP like reception, and then Friday and Saturday is the show. I think it's 2 days this year. And then Saturday at the end of the show, like all the top 25, they gather them in the little amphitheater, and then they cruise downtown. They shut downtown Depot Street, and they have a band, and they do all the trucks are parked there, and they're raising money for the scholarship fund. And the cool thing about that was the scholarship recipient the previous year was actually interning at Harrison's shop this past year, and she was at the show, and you actually see the the purpose of the show playing out right in front of you because here's this young girl, she's in hot rodding, she's welding, she's doing her thing, and it was all because of the funds raised from the show. So
Yeah.
that stuff like that's
Those
cool.
events are kind of rare anymore. I
Yeah.
didn't know about that one. Like when you go to these events, not badly, but the Triple Crown raises money for charities.
Yep.
Battle of Bama raises a lot of money for charities, and that when there's not a lot of these shows that do that really anymore.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot. There's like, oh, we're doing some pinstripe auctions, and they raise some money for whatever. And Tri Fives, we do a Thursday night thing. We raised almost $10,000 for a local humane society, but it's just kind of cool. And then you realize when you see that, like some of these people, what they spend the money at these charity auctions, how many really cool people. Like
Yeah.
at Battle of Alabama last year, these people they bought a go-kart for like $5,000, donated it back to sell again.
Yeah.
And then like good karma come their way. Somebody raffled off a Harley. They won the Harley.
No kidding.
Like
Holy
good
cow.
karma. But you know what they
Yeah.
did? They donated the Harley. So the stuff that they
kidding.
donated back brought in like almost $30,000 for their generosity. And they were
That's
just
cool.
like, not to be judgmental, but they didn't look like they could afford tires for their truck. I
Yeah.
mean, they weren't that bad, but
Yeah.
they didn't look like rich people. And they're like, I went over and hugged them, and people were crying. And it's just like, we're just thankful we're at a place in our life that we can do stuff like this. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's still some good people in the world.
Yeah.
You see that
Hell
type
yeah.
of stuff, and it's like, don't watch the news, all the negativity. It's still a good place out there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's those kind of events are really what I look for. Eddie looks for when we're partnering with events like
Yep.
Fall Revival. Like they raised $108,000.
Which
Just
shows that?
It's C10 Fall Revival in
Okay.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And it's,
Wow.
there's no trophy, just people handing out cash at the gate as they're coming in.
Yeah,
And
very
it's
cool.
stuff like that. And it makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gives you the warm fuzzies a little bit.
The warm fuzzies. Yeah. Yeah. Like a plain burger with just ketchup. That's the
Right.
feeling I get.
Is
Like,
that really what he orders?
It's okay. I know it by heart because I've been around the man for far too long. Burger cooked through and through, white cheese, ketchup only, nothing else. It's a fairly simple order.
Really simple. I was thinking it had like lettuce and no tomato, but yeah, it's totally simple.
Plain burger, cheese and ketchup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think you're onto something. Maybe the card, it kind of pisses them off. They're like, nah,
Yeah.
not today, big boy.
But I'm pretty sure we ate at that Tulsa restaurant. And he goes, and they put mayonnaise on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in the north. They didn't put mayonnaise on burgers. In the south, we've learned they'll put mayonnaise. And you gotta, when you order a pulled pork sandwich, you gotta make sure they're not putting coleslaw on it. That's like
Right.
We had a friend brought his kid when he was younger down from Illinois, and he almost cried.
Yeah.
He had to send it back. He wouldn't eat it. I don't like coleslaw. So yeah.
Yeah. Y'all keep that.
Stuff a little different.
Right.
So as we wrap this up, is there anybody you need to thank that maybe you haven't thanked, a mentor or anything like that helped you get to where you were?
Man. Yeah, actually, there's three I'd like to thank. So really, my friend Brian Chrisman, he kind of got me into this industry, brought me on through the ranks, and then my wife and my daughter. I really
Then she is now going to move her birthday away from the SEMA show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The July Christmas birthday. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
There you
Wait
go.
till you see it. It's going to be amazing.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So tell everybody where they can find you on all the social media and YouTube channels.
So at Automotive Direct, I'm behind the @ sign on all of those, or at Jason Chandler ATL. I might check that once a month. I might not. I was grateful that I caught Carrie's message when I did, because I'm usually not checking my stuff. So that's where I'm at.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And
you see him at an event. Hopefully, you see him at Mo Party.
Hopefully.
You'll see him at Triple Crown. He's still talking about Columbus. And stop and see the guys. Are always great. And not only Jason and Eddie, but a lot of the guys that they have in the booth. So you got a good program. So it's keep doing what you're doing. It's people are noticing, and it helps in this world of social media and content. So you guys are killing it. So keep it up, man.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
The Strange Motion Way podcast, brought to you by
Royal Purple. Premium synthetic motor oils and high-performance chemicals have been designed to improve performance, provide long-term protection, and give you the confidence to push your vehicle to the limit. Royal Purple Premium Synthetic Motor Oils.
Hey welders, ready to upgrade your gear and save some serious dough in the process? The Miller Build with Blue Savings and Rebate Program has you covered. Find amazing deals and cashback rebates on a wide range of Miller products, from welders to plasma cutters and everything in between, all backed by our 3-year warranty. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Take advantage of the Miller Build with Blue program now. Visit us online or stop by your nearest Miller distributor today to start saving.